Hello everyone. It's been a little while since we've streamed, mainly due to finals coming up here in school. A lot of projects, a lot of stuff going on. So, gotten a lot of stuff accomplished, so I figured I'd take a little bit of time out to do a quasi-short stream tonight. Just do a league and call it a night. So this deck, particular list went 5-0 with Jeff Hoagland. Believe it was a donation list for him. There's a lot of flexibility in the list. He played it a couple different times, had a slightly different sideboard. But the main thing with the deck is you got your Noble Hierarch, Birds of Paradise into 3-drop, either Kitchen Finks or Matter Reshaper or Voice of Resurgence. And you have the option for the card Eldritch Evolution, which allows you to go get extra Thought-Knot Seers and Reality Smashers in Game 1. You also have a bullet of Thragtusk and Orzhov Pontiff for certain matchups. Beyond that, the deck plays out very similarly to Abzan Eldrazi. You have Displacer, Thought-Knot, Reality Smasher, Matter Reshaper, some of the list play. You don't have the top end of Drowner of Hope, but a lot of this is more flexibility out of the sideboard. But beyond that, it's just your basic Eldrazi, try to cheat fatties into play, a little bit of disruption. Game 1 with Path to Exile and Eldrazi Displacer for creatures. If you're in a matchup where some of these cards aren't good, then this is where the sideboard kind of comes in. You have a whole lot of random 1-ofs. Kataki, War's Wage, good against Affinity and Lantern. Eidolon Rhetoric, good against Storm and Ad Nauseam. Linvala, Keeper of Silence, is good in Creature Mirrors. Cataclysmic Gearhulk, where your opponent's going wider than you. Malira is for Infect. Reclamation Sage is a bullet against a lot of different things. Affinity. Eldrazi Tron can come in. It could come in against Blood Moon decks, etc. Million Colossus is primarily here for Death Shadow decks. Throne the Last Troll is for Blue-White X Control. Gaddock Teague is for anything with forecasting cost or higher non-creature spells. Could potentially bring it in against things like Collected Company, Court of Calling. Could also bring it in against Storm. A few other decks, Gorgak, he can shine. Voice of Resurgence as your fourth one in grindier creature matchups. I think it's something like Burn, possibly. Kitchen Finks. I believe Jeff said these were the most subpar cards in the deck, with the third and fourth Finks on the board. But it could be relevant against decks like Burn and other creature aggro decks. And finally, Relic of Progenitus against various graveyard strategies like Dredge, etc. Since you do have a little bit of graveyard synergy with Kitchen Finks and Eternal Witness, you really don't want to be playing things like Cage and Rest in Peace. So, that being said, we are going to play a league. Let's see what happens. Constructed tournaments, Abzan Evolution. I do not want to play cubes. I want to play a league. Thank you. So I believe last time out in Modern we played Blue-Red Kiki, which was one of our few 5-0s. Yeah, it looks like Blue-Red Kiki was the last deck we played. It's been a little bit. Been about a little over a week since we've been able to stream. So, sorry for everybody both on YouTube and here on Twitch. We haven't been able to stream much. Sometimes life's just more important, especially when you're paying several $1,000s to go to school. So. Alright, so anything else about this list that we can think of? I just expanded things out when I've got chat going here. That was smart. Good old Magic Online. Every time there's an update, your settings get screwy. So I was a big fan of Abzan Eldrazi at one point. I have the deck primarily in paper other than Cavern of Souls anymore. But A lot of matchups where the cards just don't line up right. It's a good combat deck, but in unfair matchups, it struggles a lot. So this deck has a lot of potential lock pieces with Eldritch Evolution, so it might be a little bit better in some of those matchups. What does this hand do? Put it mulligans to 6. Turn 1 Noble, turn 2 either Eldritch Evolution. I think we keep this one. It's a little mana heavy, but we've got a lot of pretty decent draws. Especially if our mana idiot lives. Question is, am I leading on Temple Garden or am I leading on I'm also getting used to a new computer and Affinity. Delightful. Alright, so lead on Temple Garden here. Play out Noble Hierarch. Then we could potentially jam get this stop during our upkeep out of there. Could potentially go something like, depending on what they draw here. Yeah, we're definitely playing out good old Orzhov pawn off next turn, even if it costs us our Noble Hierarch. Severely weaken our opponent's board. Matter Shaper. Well, that will at least give us something to do next turn. Go get Orzhov Pontiff here. Okay, where is he? Creatures you don't control get -1/-1. Nice board opponent. Cranial plating? Well, that could be a problem. Eldrazi Displacer. I think we play that here. Seems like we're in fairly good shape now in this game. Question is, do I play around Gal Blast or do I just play this out? I think I just play this out. Opponent's got another Inkmoth Nexus. I mean, they get to hit us for like 3 here. Okay, 4 Infect, sure. Alright, so get in for 4 here. So I have to play Matter Shaper and hold up Path. What else our opponent goes here for here? Sure, they're going for it anyway. Okay. Wait for them to commit to the attack. Sure. Trust me, opponent, I'm not going to leave myself dead here. I mean, Gal Blast could be mildly annoying, but I suspect if they had Gal Blast, they would have already played it. Play out birds. Ornithopter. Alright. So it seems pretty likely they don't have displace that. And sure. I think we just go for kill here. No sense in sticking around. See if our opponent continues making us play this out. Yep, looks like they are. Fair enough. You, for a man that hates Modern, you've been building a lot of decks lately. I suppose this opens us up to Gal Blast killing us potentially. Alright. Turns out turn 2 board wipe's pretty good. We want the Kataki. What else do we want? Want the Rex Sage. Linvala seems decent. Is this a Gear Hulk matchup? I might bring Gear Hulk in, but I don't think it's particularly great because they get to keep decide what artifacts they keep. Thanks, man. How you feeling though before you go? Island. Cards are we cutting? Threat Test doesn't seem particularly great. Probably can shave a voice. And actually, I probably want voice as another way to. This is an interesting question. What cards are not good in the matchup? It's probably a voice. Thought Not Seer isn't particularly great, especially on the draw. Not even 2 weeks in yet, and not so bad, so hopefully it'll stay that way. Hey, no problem. You're the one going through this hand. I don't think this is a keep. We've got like potentially turn 2 Displacer, but so much goes wrong if we don't draw a mana. This hand's a little bit better, but we still need to try to hit a land. Yep, that seems reasonable. See how much affinity vomiting occurs this game. Yeah, Vault Scourge, sure. Alright, there comes the Vault Scourging. See what our opponent's follow-up is. Okay. So I guess we go ahead and get Matter Reshaper out here. See if they're willing to come in a little bit more to the board. Well, there's an Inkmoth next eye. What kind of hand did they keep? I mean, not that our hand's great, but... Another Vault Scourge, sure. Signal Pass, sure. Do they have something like Spell Purse here? Am I even supposed to play around Spell Pierce? I don't think so. Missing a point of damage here, which is kind of... Well, no, I'm not actually missing any damage. Because it's either play Eldritch Evolution or play Noble Hierarch. So... Hopefully I don't have... Hopefully we'll hit a land here. Sure, I'd love to put that on the battlefield. And what am I going and getting here? Looks like they had the Spell Pierce. Which is funny because we're not even playing that many spells. So, again, they did get a 2-for-1-ish. We are very constrained on mana, so they may just beat us with the Swarm plan. Question is, would we have gone and gotten Kataki, or would we have gone and gotten... Alright, well, I mean... Is Linvala even enough to keep us alive here? Play out Linvala. See what happens. Not that this actually stops a lot, but it does at least probably buy us a turn. Unless their last card is this Master of Ethereum? Yeah, I think Master might be lethal here, isn't it? Yeah, Master's just lethal. Alright, well, they had the Spell Pierce, which is kind of ironically not that great against our deck, but they're trying to stop exactly Eldritch Evolution blowing you out. I guess that makes sense. I guess there is some thought to bringing in Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Just because... I mean, props to our opponent for playing around the card that beats them. Yeah, hand seems fine. I mean, it's not great. We need to hit a third land. And... Punt mulligan to 6. And they're going to have 2 turns to develop, which isn't great. Yeah, Bolt Scourge, sure. Triple Eldritch Evolution's probably not great. I mean, if we hit a third land and they don't have Spell Pierce again or Thoughtseize, well, I guess Thoughtseize isn't even relevant. Then we can Eldrazi Evolution for Pontiff, and then can Eldrazi Evolution the token for token or even Orzhov Pontiff itself for something else. But that does require us to hit a third land. Let's make sure we didn't disconnect. All right. So we are still live. Our opponent is the one tanking a little bit, or just taking their sweet old time. Excuse me. Thanks everyone for tuning in this evening so far. We're in our first match with Eldrazi Evolution. Opponent had disconnected. Makes sense. We have to go voice on 1 or voice on 2. If we hit a land, we can Eldritch Evolution, go get Pontiff, or either Pontiff or Kataki. I mean, our opponent was telegraphing Spell Pierce, but we had to play into it last game. I mean, I could have played Noble to try to play around it, but opponent's just going to hold it up as long as they can. I mean, if they get Master go down, then Path plus Orzhov Pontiff could clean up quite a bit. So, alright, well, Eldrazi Temple, which means we will hit our third mana on time. See if our opponent leaves up something like Spell Purse again. Yeah, they're conceivably leaving up. Oh. Feels bad, opponent. Feels bad. Alright, they take Reality Smasher. I think the Pierce would have been more of a blowout than the Thoughtseize was. Oh dear. Well, sometimes it just doesn't pay to see if our opponent blocks. Nope, no interest in blocking. Sacrifice this, get a token, go get... I think I'm supposed to go get Pontiff here, right? Let's take the 2-for-1 when we can. Alright, opponent scoops. Alright, and so to be fair, that's usually a pretty... It's not the best matchup in the world for Abzan Eldrazi or even Eldrazi-tron. So, it's the fact that we have access to those cards maybe makes that matchup better? I don't know. I mean, our draws were fairly reasonable. We hit our third land drop that we needed to. Our opponent had Thoughtseize instead of Spell Pierce. We could have potentially played around Spell Pierce, like I said, in game 2, which we knew our opponent was repping something. I was just thinking, are they really bringing in Spell Pierce against a deck that's like 75% creatures, 85% creatures? But if that's the card that goes and gets the thing that blows you out, then... I was wondering, because literally, Orzhov Pontiff is literally the only black card in the deck. I was wondering if it was worth it, and I guess, yeah, the answer is yes. So, Magic Online, why do you keep doing that? To wish our opponent good luck. Alright, so we're on the play. We've got voice into either Finks. I think we keep his hand. It's not, we don't have one accelerant, but against most fair decks, this hand's fairly reasonable. So I think I lead on planes here. Gives my opponent the least information. Opponent will probably take voice here. This might be Pox, could be a number of other decks. I'm guessing we're losing the voice here. Yep. Unsurprising. Pass to our opponent. Yep, looks like Pox. Play out things because it's one of the more resilient cards against whatever the heck they're trying to do. So, and no plays either. Okay, Lily of the Veil, sure. Guess we discard a... So what is the... Oh, they're a Tezzeret deck. Okay. Eldritch Evolution. Is that worth it here? So they could potentially have a second. So I could kill Liliana here if I had went and gotten Smasher. But I think I'm supposed to go and get Thragtusk here. Is Thragdad the best we can do? I think Thragtusk is just the best we can do here. Just get as many resilient threats into play as possible. Okay, so I guess I'm... What am I discarding here? Am I discarding Displacer or Matter Reshaper? Guess it's Displacer. Okay. I think I'm supposed to attack Liliana with everything, right? There's a decent chance they have another Liliana. Is there out Ensnaring Bridge here? Guess I grab Overgrown Tomb. That way I have access to everything in case I draw. Yeah. Undo. Undo. Play out Matter Reshaper first. Play out Bird. Bird is the word. I mean, I don't think we're being a damnation at this point anyway, so... We've got 8, 10 power in play. Our opponent's on a 2-turn clock. Sure. You have Ensnaring Bridge here? Nope, another Liliana. Which... What do you even do with it here? Target player sacrifices a creature. Alright. So opponent is tapped out. Go ahead and swing Finks at that, this at them. If they get Ensnaring Bridge, I think we're... What else you got? Tezzeret? Yep, it's a Tezzeret already. Walking Ballista and... 5, 8. Yeah, it looks lethal to me. Alright. Yep. Opponent was waiting to see if we were going to swing at everything or if we were going to be distracted by Tezzeret. Alright. So, would have been nice if we would have had the... would be nice if we had the Stony Silence as Jeff had in his second list. But as it is... What am I... What do I want to board in? Teague. Teague makes some amount of sense. Probably want voice. Voice is kind of hit or miss. Reclamation Sage we definitely need. Orzhov Pontiff. I think we leave Pontiff in as a hedge against something like Thopter Sword would be one of the ways we could lose this, besides Ensnaring Bridge. And what else am I supposed to move in or cut? As far as cuts, I think can shave probably some number. Even maybe one path. They might have some type of creatures, but I think their main win con is Thopter Sword or beating down with Tezzeret stuff. So I don't think path is particularly great in this matchup. That said, I'm not entirely sure what's on our opponent's deck. This hand's just trash. If the bird lives, this hand is... No, actually, our opponent has Inquisition and stuff, so this hand isn't even great to that. Mulligan to 5, sure. Yeah, keep that on top. Pithing Needle on what? Pithing Needle, sure. Pithing Needle on Windswept Heath. Okay. That is either that's a little much. All right, we'll play out Eldrazi Temple and pass. That's a little ballsy. I mean, seems a little bizarre for our opponent to be naming a fetch land with Pithing Needle. Sure. I have a feeling this is a game we're probably going to lose. Opponent discards a Collective Brutality, which is ironically pretty awful against us. So I guess we're pitching Eldrazi Evolution here to Liliana. Another Collective Brutality. Land, please. Okay, well, that's a good one. If our opponent has a removal spell for the Smasher, then we're pretty... Well, maybe they don't. Or they just have another Liliana, which I suppose that would make sense. This is a Tezzeret. Yep. What do you do with your Tezzeret? Make your Pithing Needle a big boy? Eldritch Evolution. What would Evolution even go find here that we could care about anything? Just think we Masher, Go ahead and trade off, kill his Tezzeret. If he wants to trade his Pithing Needle for that, that's fine. Nope, he doesn't. Okay. Is a Damnation incoming then? Yep, feels like a Damnation here. Yep. All right, Voice. Voice is a card. Then next turn. Okay. Tezzeret gets to tick up. We're probably looking for what? Bridge here? Walking Ballista. So go ahead and attack Tezzeret here. Don't think I boarded in Linvala, so what does this even go get? Do we just go get Thought-Knot? Rex Sage, Thought-Knot, Displacer. What could... Is it E-Witness, maybe? E-Wit, Buyback. You get Displacer. Thanks. Battery Shaper. Maybe it's just Thought-Knot to deal with his Walking Ballista. But it can only make it a 2/2. Guess it's just Displacer here. Alright, Temple of Tilt. It's a card on bottom. Another Damnation. Well, that's kind of annoying. Might just lose this one on the back of double Damnation. Eldrazi Evolution. Yeah. Opponent gets to keep finding cards. Grafdigger's Cage. Alright, I mean, Cage is annoying, but not hugely relevant here. Windswept Heath. I think we're about at the point where we've lost this game, so. Relic. Relic's not even that good, ironically. I mean, it's fine, like, right now, but, eh. Guess it only kind of stops. Sure. And, yeah, we're going to go ahead and scoop. Alright, so now we know our opponent's on the Damnation plan. So I think we want to... They're on... I think Path is just actively bad. Do I still want pawn enough to hedge against Opter Sword? I think that is the question. Definitely want at least one Sphinx, maybe two. What am I cutting for it, though? Maybe Pontiff? Just say screw it and we lose to Thopter Sword? Guess I'd like to play first. How horrible is this hand? I think we keep it. I'm all against a 6. Keeps their hand. Lead on Temple of Tilt. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have turn 1 Pithing Needle again. Probably Inquisition. Seriously? The frick? They're gonna name Windswept Heath again? Yep. You know, ironically, it doesn't really matter, but it's annoying nonetheless. Okay, so they get our Ewit, which is annoying. They miss on land, though. Let's see what they do this turn. Sure. Relic of Progenitus doesn't even matter. So I guess Windswept Heath was just a random. The only thing they can name with Pithing Needle. And opponent is pretty well dead here. Guess they can. Yeah, sure. And if we flip something, sure, I'll put that on the battlefield. Okay, opponent conceded. Well, 2-0 so far. Definitely can't complain about that. That was a bizarre match, though. So it looks like they were just Tezzeret control, and their game plan was just winning through Tezzeret beats, or Tezzeret ultimates. I mean, I think if I would have taken a different line there, game 2, we might have been able to beat that. Like, if I would have witnessed back, like gotten witness with that Eldritch Evolution, gotten back like a Reality Smasher, or even a Sphinx, we might have been able to fight through that. I don't know, that was a very bizarre sequence of draws. Guess I'd like to play first. What does this hand do? 2 lands, a bunch of 3-drops. This is a mulligan as well. Excuse me. I mean, this is a keep. It's not great, but it's a keep. Voice. I've got to put voice to the bottom. Because we can't cast it. Humans. Sure. Don't think we're in great shape with this hand. So what kind of sideboard hate do we have for humans? Not a lot. I guess I don't even know. Meddling Mage? Naming what? Path to Exile? Yeah, if they name Path here, we're pretty screwed. Thought Knots here. Okay. Sure. Okay. Mayor of Averbrook? Sure. Go ahead and path that here. Maybe it's incorrect. Maybe we should be pathing the mayor, but hope we draw a land. Mirror gets to flip. Yeah, this just feels bad. This is a matchup I would normally feel pretty good about for. Like, if this was Abzan Eldrazi, I think I would feel a lot better about the matchup than this particular setup. This is like Reflector Mage, we're done here. Yep. So, go ahead and Displacer. Good old Howlpack Alpha. And we get to take a beating here. Just trying to think what card even catches us up. Hmm. Alright, so Mayor gets to flip again. Well, I mean, we at least get to take a look at whatever's in their hand. probably something dumb. Might even be another Reflector Mage. It's either a Reflector Mage or a land, would be my guess. Okay, it's a land. Opponent gets a 3. Is that a wolf every turn? 2/2 wolf. So many cards that are bad here. Meddling Mage is bad for us. Dahlia's Lieutenant's bad, but that doesn't look like what they drew. Sure, we're taking 2 in the air. Opponent gets a wolf here. Trigger. Wolfy time. Matter Shaper. Noble Hierarch. Play out Eldrazi Displacer. I guess the worst case scenario here is Reflector Mage, maybe? I don't know. We're a little clogged on mana. So take 3 in the air here. Stupid freebooter might be the death of us. Okay, Mayor flips back. Another Thunk Nut. Suppose this will prompt a response from our opponent, unless they just have 2 lands in hand. Which they do. Okay. So opponent's drawing poorly, but is there anything I'm missing that I should be doing here? Alright, yeah, that's one of the lands that were in their hand. Freebooter beats continue. Alright, Eldrazi Temple certainly helps. Five. Am I supposed to play Smasher here? I think I'm supposed to play Smasher here, and then just use my mana the rest of the time to kind of lock them out of stuff. So Ether Vial is really their only way to play spells we care about now. Four, five, six. We just play this Temple Garden tapped. Start attacking with Reality Smasher here. Don't particularly care about not getting Matter Reshaper into play. See how our opponent attacks here. So they get our Matter Reshaper, which, whatever. Nope, they choose not to take the Matter. Nope, it's none. Never mind, it's only spells. I would have known that, I would have blinked it a lot sooner. Opponent concedes. Wow. Hmm. Was not expecting that. So... What cards make sense? What cards don't make sense? Is Orzhov Pontiff okay against them? Probably want Gear Hulk. Now what cards? Relics, no. Kataki, Merlira, Gaddock Teague. Voice, I mean, Voice is okay. Potentially. Might want Voice. Eidolon, no. Reclamation Sage, no. Thinks and Thinks are both fine. Linvala, maybe. So, especially on the draw, I could see cutting like a couple of Thought Knots and maybe... Does Pontiff actually kill? Pontiff kills Champion if it's on one, Noble Hierarch, and Mayor maybe? And maybe it's just a Voice I'm supposed to cut. Try it like this. Linvala doesn't really shut anything down other than Noble Hierarch, but it does... this hand even keepable? Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll keep it. I mean, humans is pretty fast, but I don't know if it beats... if it's a turn 4 kill. Guess Kite Sail Freebooter could be annoying with this particular hand. Ideally, we want to go turn 3 Reshaper, turn 4 Eldritch Evolution for probably Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Human. Okay, Ether Vial, sure. Play it out. Temple Garden tapped, pass. I actually can't even play Matter Reshaper right now, can I? So I guess it would have to be Displacer into... And if they play Meddling Mage here, we're just kind of screwed. What is this, Thalia? Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Meddling Mage or Freebooter? Thalia's Lieutenant, okay. Mayor? Nope, Noble. Okay. Question is, are we going to be dead before we can do anything here? Please don't have... Okay, cool. Just like, please just don't have Reflector Mage. Like the one card. Please don't be freaking Reflector Mage. Son of a bleep. Just hope and pray we survive, I guess. Another freaking Reflector Mage. Yep, humans doing human things. Alright. So do we have any way to play around Reflector Mage? Not really. Them having Vial on... The more I look at this Pontiff, the more it's just kind of garbo. Try it like this. Yeah, if we would have been able to stick a creature for one turn even, I think we would have been fine, but Bird into... Oh, we'll keep it. I mean, this hand is definitely risky. Should have let on Forest, just for the record. Alright, so they have a Noble Hierarch of their own. Brushland is fine-ish. Really would have loved to have to play this turn. Champion, sure. I'll use Lieutenant, sure. So I think we have to path Thalia's Lieutenant here. Or Champion of the Parish, just because it's such a pain in the hind end. Yep, they already have their basic in play. And if our opponent Reflector Mages us, we're pretty well boned here. Well, another Thalia's Lieutenant's not great either. That would have been great, like, multiple turns ago. Drag Tusk. Still like to hit an Eldrazi evolution at any point in this mess. Oh, there's a Reflector Mage. I'm glad we played around that nonsense at least. They can attack with a 4/4. Okay, guess it's technically a 5/5. Another land, not precisely what we were looking for here. One Reality Smash. Go right ahead. Gotta start closing out this game somehow. Okay, Talia, sure. Still need an Eldrazi evolution pretty much to wrap this up. Okay. Meddling Mage naming Thragtusk. Come on, Eldrazi Evolution or... Block the 6/6 here. Come on, deck, one time. Guess Smasher temporarily keeps us alive, but not for very long. Another Reflector Mage. Yep, humans doing human things. Alright, I'd like to draw a card, please. E-Witness, and... Yep. We weren't hitting the Eldrazi Evolution anytime soon. Well, a human's deck is pretty powerful for what it does. So, alright, I'll be back here in a few, taking a 1 or 2 minute break to use the restroom, and we'll get back to the sleep. Alright, we are back. So, I'm sure we're still streaming there, because I know Dashboard's having some issues for whatever reason. Alright, so, trying to think. We had outs to draw to in the humans matchup. If we would have hit Eldritch Evolution, I think we might have been okay. Probably would have kept their one Thalia's Lieutenant that was like a 7/7, so... I mean, we still wouldn't have been in good shape, but we probably would have been okay. Alright, what does this hand have? I mean, we've got turn 1 Noble into turn 2 Finks. So I think we keep this hand. And if we draw a colorless land, could potentially curve out like Thought-Knot into whatever. Okay, play turn 1 Noble. We're up against a Black Cat 1922. Caves of Koilos. So I want to use my fetch land here on the off chance my opponent, and I want to probably get Temple Garden. Play out Kitchen Finks here. Then next turn we get to Thought Knot them. This feels like Eldrazi taxes, just from, I mean, obviously Caves of Koilos is can be a couple different decks, but okay, it's Eldrazi taxes. Eldrazi Displacer. You want to trade? I'm good with that. Hard to tell. Probably not, though. I mean, so it's between either killing their Displacer here or... So they have Thought Knot, Thalia, and Ether Vial. The only one of those we care about is Thought Knot. And double Ghost Quarters, mildly annoying here, but in the end, it doesn't really matter. Alright, there's the Ether Vial. No, they have... Will they play Thalia here? Alright, another Thought Knot. So... I guess I attack with things here. See if they drew anything of relevance. Probably not. Nope. Ghost Quarter and Eldrazi Temple. Let's go ahead and path this. Okay. Actually, I can't path it because Thalia things. Oh. Alright. So we know they still have Ghost Quarter in hand. Huh. So what could they possibly have here? Attack with the Thunk Nuts. Sure. So you still take 4 here. We're going to displace one of our Thought Knots, okay? It's kind of annoying. Oh, we actually got something. That's kind of funny. Go ahead and pass that. Unfortunately, we can't play Thragtusk this turn, so I think Thragtusk would pretty well wrap up the game if we were able to play it this turn. The Displacer is just too annoying to allow to continue. Okay, another Ghost Quarter. This Wasteland Strangler. Tide Hollow Scholar, that's not nice. Yep, get a Thragtusk. And opponent concedes. Alright. So, how many X1s does our opponent have? Flicker Wisp, Thalia. Yeah, I think we still want Pontiff in this matchup. Is this a Gear Hulk matchup? Don't really think so. Linvala seems fine against their displacers. Rexage. Yeah, I think Rexage is fine. It gets things like Tide Hollow Scholar and Ether Vial, which enables a lot of their more busted stuff. Which cards do we not want? Kataki no, Malira no, Gaktik no, Voice of Resurgence, Sphinxes are okay, but not particularly better than anything else going on in our deck. Thrun. There's some consideration for Thrun. I don't think so, but it is something to consider. So what are we cutting here? This is kind of an attrition-y matchup. Thought Not Seer, maybe we can shave one of those on the draw. We need to make one more cut. Maybe it's... What is... Maybe it's just one evolution. Because we really can't... I mean, we have no, like, true bombs in this matchup, so... Evolutioning to give up something maybe isn't the greatest. I don't know. So what does this hand do? Nothing till turn 3. I think that's too slow. Even this hand feels better. Llanowar Waste. No, I think we bottom that. Another noble. So what am I fetching up here? Am I getting Overgrown Tomb or am I getting Temple Garden? I think Temple Garden. The odds of us drawing our Orzhov Pontiff are so low. I just want to be able to play my spells. So. Tidehull Sculler. Yep. Probably will take Displacer here. I think worst case scenario would be Sculler into Wasteland Strangler. Okay, so they took Finks. Which leads me to believe that you have Wasteland Strangler in your hand. So I think I just play Noble Hierarch and Bash. Because this seems like a Wasteland Strangler opening. And I'm probably going to punish with what? Thought Knot? Jiminy freaking Christmas. Yep, here comes the Sculler, sure. Eldritch Evolution. Do we even have anything to get on 3 here? I mean, I could Rex Sage, get back Finks, but is that really worth it? Is there anything else here that even makes sense? Ding, ding, ding. Sage, blow that up, get back Finks to our hand. Maybe. I mean, I don't really know what else we're grabbing here. And Voice isn't horrible, but it's not great. Witness doesn't really get anything here. I think it's just Sage. Blow up their stupid thing, get back our kitchen Finks. Yes. And pass. Hopefully this will buy us some time, but opponents had a pretty strong opening. Especially if this is like Displacer. Their Thought Not Seer. Jiminy Josephats. Turn 2 discard, turn 3 discard, turn 4 discard. Alright, well, I mean, I think we're definitely bringing in Cataclysmic Gear Hulk for the next game. And Swift Teeth. Sure. No, we didn't bring it in. We're definitely bringing it in for game 3. Ghost Quarter. Always gotta love the Ghost Quarter. Sure. Yeah. Alright, so it looks like our opponent is on the stack up on discard plan. And okay. Well, I mean, see what their last card is, I guess, before going ahead and scooping. Alright, what you doing, opponent? Fatal Push. Curious card that they could have used. Possible they've boarded out Thalia. I mean, if they activate Shambling Vent here, swing lethal. Ugh. I mean, see how they attack. They swing everything, we're just dead. Yep. Alright. On to the next game. So we know our opponent's on the 1 million discard plan. Is there anything we can do about that? Still think Linval is fine. Probably board out Ace Smasher for Cataclysmic Gear Hulk. Get the Pontiff out of there. This last evolution in. Try it like this. Hopefully we can get something rolling before their discard spells start coming down. Guess I'd like to play first. It's a mulligan, unfortunately. I mean, sure, we'll keep this hand. Yeah, probably won't Smasher with this hand. I'm gonna have something dumb like Inquisition. Nope, Ether Vial. Okay. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have Tad Hellaskull. Nope. Okay. Cool. Alright. I mean, Path to Exile if we ever draw. Eldrazi decks doing Eldrazi things. Okay. This Leonin Arbiter? Yep. You have the Ghost Quarter too? Alright, sure. Nope. Looks like you don't have another land either, which is probably good for us. Do you have another Path to Exile? Hopefully you do not. Dismember? I think while our opponent is this, we're going to go ahead and get a Temple Garden. That way they can't screw us off of lands here with like a biled in nonsense. Okay, Lingering Souls isn't going to do a lot of good against a Reality Smasher. Flicker Wisp. All right. So path that. Take out all your freaking Lingering Souls. So annoying. So very annoying. Opponent's only got 2 cards to work with, though, so I think we're in good shape. Displacer. Okay. Take care of that. So, sure. I mean, it's annoying we don't get to cast anything this turn, but at the same time, nope. You just don't have another friggin' Flicker Wisp. Seriously. Alright. Gain some life here. See if our opponent has anything to violin. Hopefully they don't. Alright, hopefully their hand's just blanks. So if given the chance, I'm 100% trading off things for their land. Okay, sure. Not sure what that accomplished. And what you got, opponent? Well, that's definitely not a card we wanted to draw. Now the question is, am I supposed to Ewit back a land here. Ewit back that so I can play Matter Reshaper. I like to use this ability. Yeah. Yes. Play out that. That's a basic. Play out Matter Reshaper. So I will grant my opponent this. They did manage to navigate their way through 2 fast Reality Smashers. What the heck is this? Flicker Wisp? Strangler with nothing to target with. Thragtusk likely coming down next turn. Come the Flicker Wisp, sure. And alright, another land. Interesting. Why are you giving me an additional card? Kind of risky, isn't it? Battlefield. Lay that out. Thragtusk. Gain some life. I don't know how our opponent comes back from this. Even Mind Sensor, sure. So I easily could have vialed into yeah, Mind Sensor would have been brutal with Eldritch Evolution. I do believe you're just dead, opponent. Alright. Flicker Wisp on flicking out Thragtusk. Okay. Wasteland Strangler. Get a beast. Yep, Wasteland Strangler, kill something. Alright, we're gonna get hit for 5 in the air here. Theoretically would have gotten Thragtusk back there. So can I play both here? I believe the answer, ironically, is yes. Attack with the beast. My opponent will be left with Flicker Wisp and Ether Vial, and I will have Thought-Knot Seer, Cataclysmic Gearhulk, and most likely Eternal Witness. Seems a pretty good spot to be in. It just goes to 1. Alright, well, white, that. Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Not a card you play around every day. So, Gearhulk, Beast. Artifact, Creature, Enchantment, and Planeswalker. Okay, then I guess keep their Flicker Wisp and their Ether Vial. Do have Lingering Souls in the graveyard, which is mildly annoying. If they even remember it exists. See what their final card is. Fatal Push. Somewhat relevant. Pass. Alright, and we got there. Whew. A little bit of Eldrazi on Eldrazi balance. Opponent definitely navigated their game very, very well. It's kind of hard to overcome 2 copies of Reality Smasher on turn 3 and 4. But our opponent managed to do it, so it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. This will be our final match of the night, as I have projects to get back to for school, unfortunately. So 3-1, hopefully get a 4-1 here. It'd be nice to get off the old horse. How's everyone doing tonight? It's been about a week since I've been able to stream, unfortunately. Grad school and all that fun stuff. But hopefully we can knock the rust off with a 4-1. That'd be nice. This deck looked interesting when Jeff Hoogland played it. He managed to go 5-0 and 4-1 in competitive leagues. Deck feels like it's got a lot of good play to it. Did we already play Zebra in this league? I'm pretty sure we keep this hand. Kesa, Orzhov sign. Noble into Displacer. Okay, this is probably... That's probably actually bad for us. The only deck I know that was playing main deck Leyline of the Voids was the black-white Gideon nonsense deck. Yeah, that's exactly what this looks like. Alright, Path to Exile, not doing a whole lot in this matchup. Okay, go and get that. Play on Noble Hierarch. Just could easily die to Fatal Push, but not much I can do. Which is exactly what looks like what's going to happen. Nope. Alright. Noble Hierarch's gonna live. Cool. Ideally, I'd think I'd rather draw one of our more resilient threats. Okay, Crypt Breaker. Crypt Breaker probably has to die. At the same time... no, undo. Same time, I don't want to accelerate them quite yet, so... Maybe they'll miss their third land drop here. Then we can just use Displacer to keep this Crypt Breaker under control. Definitely been an interesting league. A couple of the decks that I want to play, we've ended up playing against humans and this black-white Gideon's list. Pretty sure this deck plays some number of sweepers. Plays like all the Gideons, Liliana. A whole bunch of just not very friendly stuff. So... Displacer can potentially check the zombie tokens. Potentially. Thought-Knot's probably coming down next turn. Okay, Ghost Core is annoying. Juliana. Okay, Lingering Souls. Sure. It's like one of the cards I care the least about. Another Eldrazi Displacer. Play out Funk Nut. Lingering Souls and a couple of lands. Alright. Alright. I mean, might be an okay sign for us. Alright, sure. Make a token. Reality Smash. Alright, we're going to put everything in front of Thought Knot. Perhaps I should have just attacked with Reality Smasher here. Especially if they drew like Damnation here. Knight's Whisper, sure. Okay, opponent plays Plains. Yes. Alright. Do another path. Looks like that answer is no. Sure. Go ahead and make a zombie. No sense in committing the Displacer to the board. Jura. He's just going to kill. +3/+3. Alright, well. Path this idiot. Kill you with Hap Oasis. How many deserts can you activate in Modern? And kill you with Orzhov Pontiff. All right. Gag team seems pretty evilly good here. So Leyline of the Void complicates things a little bit, because ordinarily I'd want to bring in things like Kitchen Finks and whatnot against them, but that's not particularly good against Leyline of the Void if they leave that in. What else do we want? Pontiff's fine against a lot of their nonsense. Probably can board out some number of paths. Relics, kind of sketch. Kataki, no. Malira, no. Voice, maybe? Rex Sage. So they have the two sets of ley lines. Do I want Rex Sage for that? Probably not. Probably don't have enough time to check this now, but some consideration to bring in Chameleon Colossus simply because I don't have enough time to check out this game, but Chameleon Colossus can potentially get around things like actually no, that's probably not good. Just bring in Rex Sage, try it like that. Probably should bring in Voice too. I've got a lot of random, tricky, nonsensical stuff. So if the stupid Wooded Bastion... So we're on the draw. We had a green source on one. This hand's fantastic. But other than that, this hand gets a little mopey pretty quick. So I think we have to mulligan. This hand's okay, but it does need another land. Yeah, keep the bash in there. Pontiff in our hand is not ideal. Very grindy, gruely matchups tonight. Alright. At least they don't lead on freaking ley lines again this time. Fatal pushing. Or just getting a tap land and passing. Oh. Wonder if they're just... I don't know. Does this deck not play Fatal Push? I thought it did. Guess we play Eldrazi or Matter Reshaper here. Because that's like the best against whatever they're doing. Not sure what our opponent is supposed to do here. Okay, Field of Ruins, whatever. Okay, there's Lingering Souls. we kind of figured was coming. Pontiff being in our hand is really annoying. So am I supposed to play Displacer here? Question mark. I mean, if we get it's possible I'm supposed to Evo for T next turn if they don't play anything significant here. Possible I was just supposed to Evo fatigue, period. Keep them off of Gideon and that kind of nonsense. They just like flashback souls here. They saw the Pontiff last game, so they may want to try to play around that, but it's in my hand and I can't cast it, so... Decision points, decision points. So... it's just Gideon. English unmaking. Oddly enough, I think I'm okay with this. Looks like they're just going to take the hit. Land, please. Alright, land is good. Okay, play out a Noble Hierarch. Attack with Matter Reshaper. Path Exile? Well, that's unfortunate. I guess I'd like to do that. Go and get planes. Do I have any 3-drop I really want to go get? Yeah, I think I'm supposed to go get Teague here. Rich Evolution, sacrificing this. Is it T Woollsworth I'm supposed to get here? Play Mr. Teaglesworth. Alright. Yes. Guess that prohibited our opponent from doing what they wanted to do. It's unfortunate that they had another Path to Exile. Mana Reshaper. Yeah, Mana Reshaper. Sacrifice this creature. See what we flip. Battlefield. Go get Mana Reshaper. Yes. Go get Smasher Day Reality. Attack Gideon. It has one, now 2 cards to draw to. Something like 5 Gideon would be bad. Hard removal spell would be bad. So at minimum, our opponent's got Lingering Souls. Please don't be a 5-mana Gideon. Obnixilis. Obnoxious. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Question is, okay, so he's going to turn down black mana source, please. Well, I mean, Reality Smasher isn't the worst either. So I attack, they block here. I think I have to attack Obnixilis with both, just to ensure that it dies. Reality Smasher there was a pretty good draw. I will admit that. Alright, let me just let him go. Pass to our opponent. Feels like a damnation incoming. Yep. Definitely feels like damnation. Okay. Black mana source, please. Cool. Very Twistmas. So I really have no reason to commit Matter Reshaper to the board. Or do I? Well, its last card is Path. Yep, Fatal Push. Okay. So I think I have to commit this to the board, even though I really don't want to. All right. Looks like we're going to finish up with the 4-1 here. And GG, well played, opponent. Whew. 4-1s are always tight sometimes. All right, so getting back to the deck. So deck was pretty fun. Eldritch Evolution gives you a lot more flexibility. The resilient creatures give you a lot more game against the grindier decks. I think I like this deck, but it is very grindy and decision-y, if that makes any sense. So in a longer tournament, you definitely need to have like your reps and your like play patterns down, what cards you want and what matchups. Like there's a lot of times there where I'm second guessing which cards to bring in the side out of the sideboard. What cards my opponent's likely to have, etc. So there's a lot of decisions and deck building choices, which I think is really a positive. It's a little bit more complicated to play than Abzan Eldrazi, but obviously that comes with a lot more flexibility. I don't think you're quite as consistent to hit the nut draws without what the heck is the card? 1 green, look at the top 5, get a land, basically. Ancient Stirrings. In some ways, you're less likely to hit, but with Eldritch Evolution, it's like you have more copies of these cards. And the one of Orzhov Pontiff, I think, like massively overperformed. So I think having this as a one of in the deck is pretty sweet. A lot of the sideboard cards were pretty good. The humans matchup is just, it feels rough. Because they've got a lot of lock pieces and a lot of tempo stuff. And their creatures can get bigger. So if you don't have like multiple Path to Exiles or Eldrazi Displacer, matchup feels a little rough. Affinity felt better than most variants of Eldrazi. Like even without Stony Silences on the board, the matchup felt pretty decent. There's a lot of moving pieces in this deck, so it's pretty sweet. Takes a lot of thinking and knowing what you're doing. But overall, I like the deck. Not sure I was at my best thinking mode, and I still managed to go 4-1, so Says a lot for the deck. I think we'll definitely pick it up again sometime. For those of you tuning in here on Twitch, thank you for viewing. Feel free to hit that follow button. If you like a variety of standard and modern content, we do quite a bit of both. Someday down the road we'll get to Legacy, but for right now I've just been sticking to standard and modern. We have a YouTube channel, link is down below the channel. Feel free to check out our channel. We've got a bunch of standard and modern content, as I've said before. We've played pretty much every major deck in standard, other than I haven't played straight teamer yet, which I'll get to someday if I feel like beating my head against the wall for no good reason. And modern, we've played probably half the top decks in the format over time. So a lot of other obscure things like all the Blood Moon decks. A lot of the I think I've ended up playing a lot of the blue decks like Jeskai and the various blue-red control decks. So if you like a variety of content, feel free to check that out. But for tonight, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I got some stuff to work on for school. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and hope to catch everyone later. Good night, and bye for now.